me and my business partner want to get this documentary out to the world. I wanted to change the narrative of what it means to be justice impacted, and I hope I did that.
My question is, what kind of support do you need from all of us to see this movie on a grander scale?
The more folks that know about us and know that this is the work that Robert is doing, and then that this film is available, that's the first thing. And then also maybe getting it in front of the eyes of anybody like the youth or anybody who has, you know, made that transition outside of the prison system. So if there is a place that is allowing movies to be shown for people that are transitioning out, we would definitely love to put this video.
What does restorative justice mean to you, and how can it impact the prison system?
So to me, restorative justice is trying to see someone's humanity even when it's challenging. Me trying to see my humanity even when it's challenging, in that healing process to get to that point where I can really value my humanity in someone else's. So that's like the most simplest way I can say that. And also community is involved, can be involved in that process. If we can get to a point where we can have a national truth and racial healing process in America to address historical trauma, systemic violence, and so many other things, I believe that we can get to a point where the prison system, as we know it, can end.
This was a brilliant film again, bro. I gotta salute you, absolutely. How do you all feel about being involved with something like this, and how important it is in terms of what we're dealing with right now?
I just think back to when I was a young person and nobody cared what I had to say, right? Nobody cared how I was living until I got in trouble, right? And then today, looking at how I crawled out of that, came out of that, and how the community now kind of embraced me differently, and now to have somebody say, Harold, I need you in this film because we care what you got to say. I was like, for real? For real? Like, you care what I got to say? Okay. So I work with young people in the juvenile justice system. My organization that I work with, Fresh Lifelines for Youth. Rob said, we need this film to be seen. Oh, we gonna get it seen. Yeah, we can get it seen. But I think about some of the young people we working with and how we come across them, and how some young people out there struggling and they don't know about us. We don't know about them. The community that they from may not hear about us. We don't understand that need is over there until somebody says, hey, we need y'all. I'm hoping that something like this could connect us to everybody, right? And they understand we got resources that people don't know about, right? When I was out there doing my thing, I don't remember a program. I don't remember the name of a youth organization.
You know, Rob showed me that I do have an obligation to people like me who made mistakes. I went to prison when I was 18 years old. It was my first ever offense, and I came home when I was 23 years old. So just to show people that there is a pathway forward was important to me. And there's other things that I try to do, like I have an internship program at my job. Well, before COVID, we're trying to restart it, where kids in the Oakland Public School can come to BART and just see that it's a career, and see that it's a career that you can or cannot go to college, but you can make a good living and raise a good family. And it's not, you know, sexy like a rapper or anything like that, but it's still a career. I got retirement, so I'm happy. So ultimately I feel good, and I feel like it was an obligation to at least share my story to see how it can inspire people.
When I was working on this film, a lot of different things came up for me. A few of the things are patience, perseverance, hope, and the one thing out of all of their stories is no matter if you were incarcerated or not, it's like you only know what you know. And so the biggest thing is, and the biggest thing that I wanted people to take away from it is, no matter if you feel like, you know, your back is against the wall, like their stories and the things that they have gone through, it's showing you like you can achieve whatever it is that you set out to do. You just have to have patience with yourself. You have to have that perseverance. And then also another thing is vulnerability. Because I don't know about you all, but the way I grew up, my mom was like, you know, don't put all your business out there in the streets. But because you all were vulnerable enough to be like, you know what, it is what it is. I learned from my mistakes, and this is what you can do. You can learn from it. So that's a few of the things that I took away from putting this project together.
We were in a time when we were trying to figure out where are we going as a people, as a society, what's going to happen next. And I feel like y'all took time to create this documentary to give voice even to the incarcerated people when COVID was sweeping through the prisons. And so you still maintain the voice of so many people who needed support and who wanted to come home to their families during a very hard time. So I just want to thank y'all for that, for putting this together during that challenging time.
This is the release. So again, my business partner Charnay and I, we're trying to just get it out into the world. I really hope to capture how all the participants can pinpoint exactly when they became disengaged with the educational process.
Yeah.
This happened early in their academic career where they had a very bright academic outlook, and educators had the opportunity to recognize what they were going through, whether it was trauma in the household, trauma in the neighborhood, right? And a lot of educators miss that opportunity to recognize the brilliance. So, make no secret, there's no secret about it that they were able to reignite that genius that was already inside of them later on in life. It was already there. So, and I hope that this documentary captured that.
What is like the overall message you're trying to send out to everybody?
Overall message is life is all about second chances, right? Everybody's made a mistake, so second chances, number one, and we want to just reshape and restory the narrative that surrounds system impacted folks. And that's the overall message. Second chances, giving back to the community, whether it's through mentorship, teaching, being counselors, coaches, restorative justice, trainers, healers, everything that these gentlemen up here are doing. We want to give back to the community.
When I'm coaching a young person, or when a young person comes to play for me, I get them and their family, not just them. So I think that it's probably similar. As an educator, you get the young person, but you also get their family and their family values and what they go through, and sometimes that understanding about like why would this behavior show itself. I think as a credible messenger, I can say I know that when we had disputes on the street, we didn't have a court system to solve it for us. So the next thing we used was violence, right? When we get the young person in the classroom that's acting out, I don't know if you want to pull the family in entirely like that, but I would try to get to know, what are you dealing with at home? What's going on at home? What gaps are missing that if I can, as an educator, feel, I could probably reach out to some community resources to come into the school and help fill some of these gaps, or connect with the family.
Modeling the behavior that you want them to have. And I'm going to relate this back to even sometimes eating habits, because I grew up and I learned how to make and eat the meals that my family had made, but that might not always be the healthiest thing. So once I got older and I realized, like, you know what? My family has a history of this medical condition. I need to switch my eating habits. So even though my mom or my family might have a mindset when it comes to food and what they eat, I have to model like, hey, I'm going to change my eating habits and I want you all to do the same. But they may not know how to do that unless I model what it is that I want them to do. Robert has a book about conflict resolution. Like he said, some of our family members tell us, like, if somebody hits you, you hit them back. But you have to model an alternative way for them to handle situations, even if their mindset and their family has taught them one way.
Amen.
Once again, I'd just like to thank everybody for coming out. Can y'all give it up one more time for the panel? These people are incredible. You all are incredible. We're going to be in the lobby for a minute, hanging out, shopping game. Come on, talk to us. Thank y'all so much.